the silent habit that ages you faster than time. Most people think they have more time than they truly do. We grow up hearing that life begins at 40, wisdom comes at 50, and peace greets us in our 70s. But the uncomfortable truth is this: many never even reach 80. And those who do often arrive not with grace, but with frailty, with a body and mind that quietly fell apart long before their heart stopped beating. You see, aging rarely announces itself with a grand event. It is subtle. It sneaks in like mist at dawn, soft, unnoticeable at first, until suddenly your world has shrunk and your body has become a stranger to you. Muscles weaken, your balance falters, the stairs in your home seem steeper than they used to be. And without realizing it, you have traded movement for stillness. You have begun participating in your own slow disappearance. Buddha Story warmly welcomes you, dear friends. Today, we are not here to fear aging, but to expose the hidden patterns that make people old long before their time. And more importantly, to show you how to reclaim the energy, strength, and presence that many believe are lost forever. If this message resonates with you, if you sense the quiet truth of it within your own experience, please subscribe to Buddha Story. Your support inspires us to continue creating content that awakens the body, sharpens the mind, and nourishes the spirit. There is a reason the ancient masters never retired from life. Lao Tzu, even in old age, walked the mountain paths to share his wisdom. Zen master Ryokan spent his final years traveling barefoot from village to village, bowing to strangers, writing poems beneath the cherry blossoms. These men understood a secret that modern society has forgotten. Movement is not an option. It is life itself. When you stop moving with purpose, your body does not freeze in time. It collapses. Slowly, gently, but undeniably, your muscles weaken. Your posture shrinks. Your joints stiffen. But something deeper happens too. Your mind dulls. Your confidence dissolves. Your sense of identity fades. The way you move through the world is not just physical. It is your declaration to life itself. I am still here. I still belong. I once met an elder named Samuel in the north of Thailand. He was 74, once a strong man, now walking cautiously, always looking down. He shared with me how, after retiring, he spent most days seated by his window, watching the seasons pass but not participating in them. His legs grew weaker, his back curved, his world became smaller. He told me, I thought I was resting, but I was vanishing. This is what most people fail to see. The absence of movement is not rest. It is rehearsal for decline. Every time you skip the stairs, every time you avoid the walk, every time you say, I will move when I feel better, your body listens. It adapts to less. Your muscles go quiet, your bones lose density, your stride shortens, your balance retreats. And soon, movement is not something you choose. It is something your body can no longer offer you. But the problem runs even deeper. Without movement, your nervous system falls asleep. When you walk with intention, when you stretch, when you hold your posture tall, you send signals from your feet to your spine to your brain, reminding the entire system to stay alert, balanced, and strong. Without these signals, your brain dims, your memory dulls, your energy fades. You start questioning yourself. Your confidence shatters. There is an ancient story of Master Li, a Buddhist monk known for his grace even at the age of 80. His students once asked him, Master, what is your secret to remaining so youthful? He smiled and replied, Each morning I bow to the earth not because I must, but because I can. My body thanks me for reminding it to live. Master Li understood that movement is more than physical health. It is a ritual of belonging, a dialogue with life itself. When you stop bowing, stretching, walking, or reaching, your body assumes you have chosen to retreat, and it begins the slow process of shutting down. Modern science echoes this ancient wisdom. Researchers have found that even minimal resistance training, walking with varied terrain, or practicing posture exercises can significantly slow muscle loss, improve joint health, boost circulation, and stimulate the brain. It is not about heavy lifting or extreme exercise. It is about reminding your body daily that you are still participating in life. The tragedy is most people only move reactively. You walk because you must get to the next room. You stretch because something hurts. You stand up only when necessary. But movement by obligation is survival, not vitality. To age with strength, you must reclaim intentional movement. Walk outside, even for 10 minutes. Stretch with awareness. Strengthen your core, even gently. Relearn to stand tall, shoulders back, chest lifted. Each small act awakens your nervous system, your circulation, your confidence. Without this, the spiral of decline accelerates. Legs grow weak after even short distances. Balance deteriorates. Falls become common. The spine compresses, limiting your breath. Confidence collapses. And one day, the stairs that once seemed optional become impossible. But it is never too late. Your body is remarkably adaptive. The human system responds to purpose, to challenge, to care. Reintroduce movement with respect and presence, and the body listens. It rebuilds, it strengthens, it remembers. Ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you walked, not to complete a chore, but to strengthen your stride? When was the last time you stretched, not for relief, but for resilience? When was the last time you moved with the awareness that each action is an affirmation? I am still here. I still choose life. Aging is inevitable. Decay is optional. The Buddha taught us impermanence is the nature of all things, but how we meet that truth defines our experience. You can surrender to stillness and vanish slowly, or you can meet each day as Master Li did, with movement, with intention, with gratitude for this body that still carries you. Now, I invite you to reflect with a simple question. Please choose A or B and share your answer in the comments below. When you imagine your body 1 year from today, do you believe A, you will feel stronger, more balanced, and present because you will choose intentional movement? B, you will feel weaker and less confident because you will continue postponing movement? Your answer is not just a comment. It is your first step toward deciding how you will meet your future. We at Buddha Story look forward to reading your reflections and walking this path of mindful living with you. The quiet collapse of the body and mind through food, isolation, and disconnection. Most people believe that aging begins with the body growing old. They imagine frail muscles, aching joints, or stiff movements as the first signs that time has taken its toll. But the true decline of a human being rarely starts in the limbs or the bones. It begins quietly, at the dinner table, in the lonely silence of an empty room, and in the subtle surrender of our sense of belonging. It starts when we no longer eat to nourish, but to numb. When meals become about convenience, sweetness, or comfort rather than fueling strength and vitality. The tragedy is that by the time most people notice the body failing, the foundation of decay has been building for years through every careless bite, every nutrient missed, every sugary reward disguised as a meal. I remember an elderly woman named Margaret, who I met at a retreat in the countryside. Her story mirrors millions. In her youth, she was full of energy, gardening, walking, cooking fresh meals with pride. But as the years passed, she stopped cooking, stopped preparing meals with intention. She reached for soft bread, pastries, processed snacks, telling herself it was easier, familiar. Over time, her muscles weakened. Her energy disappeared. She struggled to stand for long. Her doctor told her it was just age, but the truth was clear. She had been feeding her body comfort, not strength. And her body responded by surrendering its resilience. What most people never learn is that after 60, the body changes on the inside in ways you cannot see. The stomach produces less acid, making digestion weaker. The gut microbiome, responsible for nutrient absorption and immune health, begins to shift unfavorably. Your ability to absorb essential nutrients like protein, magnesium, vitamin D, and B12 diminishes rapidly. Yet most people continue eating as they did decades ago, not realizing those same meals now betray them. Bread, pasta, processed meats, sugary snacks, they fill the stomach but starve the cells. You feel full but weak, satisfied but inflamed. Over months and years, this silent malnutrition manifests as fatigue, joint pain, memory fog, weakened immunity, and slower healing. Buddha spoke of mindful consumption not only in words, but in how we nourish our bodies. Food is not merely fuel. It is the foundation for clarity, strength, and longevity. Yet modern eating patterns, driven by emotion rather than awareness, lead to slow internal collapse. The cycle deepens with isolation. Loneliness is not an emotion, it is a disease as deadly as smoking or obesity. Science shows that isolation increases inflammation, weakens the immune system, accelerates cognitive decline, and shortens life expectancy. Yet many after retirement, after loss, or after mobility decreases, unconsciously shrink their world. You stop calling friends, telling yourself they are busy. You skip family gatherings, saying it is too tiring. Conversations grow shorter, days grow quieter, and soon you wake to find you are alone, not just physically, but spiritually disconnected from life. There is an ancient Buddhist teaching that speaks of the Sangha, the community, as essential to awakening. The Buddha himself warned that without connection, the path becomes harder, the mind weaker. We are not meant to walk this world alone, especially as the body ages and the mind requires stimulation to stay sharp. Every conversation, every laugh, every meaningful exchange acts as exercise for the brain. You process language, navigate emotions, read expressions, all keeping your cognitive abilities alive. But without these, the brain, like an unexercised muscle, withers. Memory fades, reaction slows, joy disappears. An old man named Thomas I met during my travels confessed that after his wife passed, he stopped seeing his friends, stopped attending the Sunday market, stopped inviting family over. His world became small, his days repetitive. His memory faltered, his strength left him, and depression crept in, not because of age, but because of disconnection. We must remember that human touch, conversation, belonging, these are not luxuries. They are as vital to survival as food or water. Every hug stabilizes the heart. Every conversation sharpens the mind. Every shared laugh floods the brain with dopamine, anchoring joy and resilience. When these disappear, the body begins to respond. You sleep poorly, your appetite diminishes, you forget why you bothered to get dressed or prepare a nourishing meal. The body does not fail all at once. It withdraws from life as you do. But the spiral is not inevitable. There is always a moment, a breath, a decision to reconnect, to pick up the phone, to share a meal, to smile at a stranger, to remind your body, your nervous system, and your spirit that you still belong here. Food can be medicine. Every bite of protein helps rebuild lost muscle. Every vegetable, rich in fiber, stimulates digestion and detoxification. Hydration brings energy back to tired cells. Purposeful meals reverse years of neglect. Similarly, connection is medicine. A walk with a neighbor, a shared cup of tea, volunteering at a local shelter, joining a book club, or simply speaking to someone new at the park. These small acts reignite the nervous system, lift the spirit, and slow the creeping advance of decline. Buddha taught that presence is not merely internal, but relational. We awaken in community. We stay strong through belonging. Loneliness may feel like an accident, but it is often a series of small decisions, a dinner alone, a skipped event, a day spent in silence. And each choice deepens the distance between you and the life you are meant to live. Your mind, your muscles, your spirit, they crave nourishment, not just from food, but from conversation, laughter, touch, and the reminder that you are seen, heard, and valued. Aging with strength is not about denying time. It is about refusing to deny yourself the basic needs of nourishment and connection. The body is wise. It responds to what you give it. Provide it with comfort food and isolation, and it fades. Provide it with strength-focused meals and meaningful relationships, and it thrives. Margaret, the elderly woman I mentioned earlier, made that choice. She returned to simple cooking, reached out to old friends, began gardening again. Within months, her energy returned, her balance improved, her spirit lifted. She did not erase the years, but she reclaimed her vitality. The question now is simple. Will you? Your future is not written by time alone. It is shaped by how you nourish, how you connect, and how you choose to live. The collapse is quiet, but so is the return to strength. One mindful meal, one heartfelt conversation, one decision at a time.